All right, I just want to do a quick introductory to the channel. The channel is Remrite Gutter Cleaning plus Pressure Washing, which is also the name of the company. We've been in business since 2018. I think it was August 2018 was the actual LLC creation. I may have done a job or two in that month of August, and then kind of kicked it off in September of 2018. And services that we offer, obviously gutter cleaning, pressure washing. We do window cleaning, and then in the fall and winter we do holiday lighting. Other service that goes kind of along with the pressure washing is like, I kind of call it patio restoration, but I've kind of gotten away from that a little bit and just call it paver sealing, because when people think of restoration, I end up doing a lot of like leveling and stuff. I don't mind doing a little bit of leveling of like brick pavers, and in the beginning I would do probably quite a bit of it just because I didn't have the workload, but that takes a lot more time, effort, and equipment. So I've kind of moved out of like the leveling of the pavers, but I'll still do the washing, put polymeric sand in the joints, and then put a paver sealer over top. That's a service that we offer spring, summer, early fall. So that's the services that we offer. We do commercial, residential. So I'm going to the point of this channel is I have another channel that is related to RV transport, which is something that I do on the side, semi full-time, but I'll be moving back into my business more. I had Remrite Gutter Cleaning, Pressure Washing kind of running itself for a while, but I ran into some hiccups and stuff, so I'm going to step back in pretty much full-time. It's a good time to create a YouTube channel. I did, I think, I'm trying to remember. I know Instagram, there's some stuff on there, and I think TikTok possibly. I gotta look and see. I can't remember for sure. But never a YouTube channel for the business. But kind of things that I'm gonna go over is physically doing the projects themselves, the business side of it itself, like quoting stuff, the pricing. I'm gonna be transparent on everything. So if it's something that you're thinking about doing, or you're just somebody that's looking for a small business to start, it'll be, I'll kind of go over everything as far as like, this is what I'm charging, this is how much time it took, this is how much I paid in labor, materials, and I'll just do the full breakdown so you can kind of see what, after all the costs, what the profits are. That doesn't necessarily mean that's what I'm paying myself, but because I like to keep the majority of the money in the business and only pay myself what I need. But you'll be able to see what kind of profits can come out of the type of work that we're doing, and the equipment that we use, things like that. So when I started the business in 2018, I was doing roofing sales, and I had a background in manufacturing, and honestly I was thinking about starting like the roofing company, but there's so much competition. There was a lot of people starting roofing companies. You had to have a roofing license, and when I was growing up, my stepdad had a siding, window, and gutter company, but I was too young to really learn the ropes and take that business over. He passed away. I was working in manufacturing, thinking that's what I was going to do forever, and that didn't work out. Wish I would have taken over his business, but it didn't work out that way. So I did have a background in construction. I didn't know enough about it. I probably could have started, a roofing or siding company, general contractor type of thing, but I came across some power washing videos on YouTube, some guys were making, and I thought, you know what, I can do that. And they were doing gutter cleaning and stuff, so the startup cost was relatively inexpensive, and I decided just to give it a go. I was already comfortable on roofs from doing roofing sales. I already had like roof walking boots and ladders and stuff, so yeah, so that's basically where I started, and why I started the business, and the way that I got into it. I did it relatively inexpensive. I went to, I can't remember what store it was, like Farm and Fleet or Tractor Supply or something, and I bought a Generac 4-gallon a minute direct drive pressure washer. And so 4 gallons a minute is about the largest you want if you don't have like a trailer setup or a bed setup with a buffer tank to hold water, because most houses can only put out up to 4 gallons a minute. You might find some that do a little bit more than that, but 4 gallons is kind of a safe bet. Even some houses, especially if they're on a well, probably aren't going to put out 4, but probably will have enough flow that it won't blow the pump or anything. But so that unit, it was big, it was bulky, it was like 150 pounds, and I had a pickup truck at the time. I would load that thing up into the bed of the pickup truck, throw a couple, high pressure hose, garden hose, and like my first house wash, I had no idea what I was doing. I had a pump sprayer with some bleach, and it took me like 4 or 5 hours to wash the house, but I got it all done. Didn't charge enough. That's a big thing that we'll go over. And after my first, not even a year, so I started in August, and I'm in Chicagoland, so really by like October, gutter cleaning, pressure washing season, gutter cleaning was still going until November, probably maybe even December of that year, but pressure washing, it probably got too cold by like October, November, and I got lucky. I got my first big commercial job. I had a couple small commercial jobs just from people I know. I had a friend that was a manager at a Starbucks, and she hired me to do like the sidewalks and window cleaning, I think it was. And while I was there, I kind of reached out to the property management company for the entire plaza. Didn't hear anything. This was probably like in September, October of 2018. I cannot remember how it worked out, but I got a call. I think somebody on Facebook was looking for someone that could take on some work, and I got my big my big commercial job. I think it was like March or April of 2019. It was for a big property management company out of Florida, and they were building or remodeling like a Crate and Barrel store, adding a restaurant to it right by my house in Oak Brook, Illinois, and they needed somebody to do the power washing before they did the grand opening for the restaurant. And so I don't recommend lying, but I talked to them. They're like, "Oh, you got hot water pressure washer, this and that, right?" And I said, "Oh yeah, I've got that, no problem." I didn't have it. I just had my little 4 gallon a minute Generac, I got the job awarded to me. I want to say it was like $7,800 or something like that. And I was like, "Oh crap! Now I gotta get a real pressure washer, like a commercial grade hot water, because they required hot water, all that." So I got on the phone, started calling. Well, at that time, there wasn't a lot of places in Chicagoland that you could get a custom trailer built with a pressure washer. It just wasn't that popular at that time. There was a couple places, and they were really expensive. I want to say it was like 17, 18 grand. Well, I found a place out in Georgia, Savannah, Georgia. I think it's like Savannah Cleaning Systems. They were really reasonable. I was shopping between like 3 to 4 different places, and I really liked the customer service I got out there. They built me a trailer. I want to say at the time it was like $13,000 I paid for it. That was with like, I want to say it was like a 14-foot trailer, a 5.5 gallon a minute hot water Pressure Pro pressure washer with a 500 gallon water tank. I think I could squeeze like 525 gallons into it. And I had them build it. I financed that trailer because I didn't have the money to just give them cash. And I was still doing roofing sales, and I was doing part-time with my business, trying to grow it. And so I had some commitments. It was kind of a crazy, I waited till the last minute to buy it, make the decision. they were gonna have it all ready for me on like, I want to say it was like a Thursday. My family, I've got 2 daughters. Now I have 2 daughters. I had one at the time, and my wife, and they flew to Florida. I was gonna meet them there because I had some meetings with the roofing sales with some insurance adjusters on like a Friday morning. I think it was like, or maybe it was like a Thursday morning. I don't remember. But I drove to Savannah, Georgia. It was like 17 or 18 hours. I just got my pickup truck, drove out there, slept in like a hotel parking lot in the back seat of my truck for 3-4 hours, went to the gas station, brushed my teeth. And I got there right when they opened in Georgia, and did all the paperwork, hooked up everything, left with the trailer, headed home. I drove all the way straight through. It was like 15 straight hours to Chicago, and I had to be at a meeting at like 10 a.m. that day, and it was like 3-4 in the morning. I pulled into a rest stop, jumped in the backseat of the truck. I figured I could get 3-4 hours of sleep, and so that's what I did. I got like 3-4 hours of sleep, went home, dropped the trailer off, showered, and I had to be at this meeting in downtown Chicago at a house, like a 3-story house in downtown Chicago. So ran there, met the insurance adjuster. It was crazy because their houses were so close together that we actually had to climb onto the roof of the neighbor's house and then jump across to the other roof because you couldn't get a ladder without it being insanely straight up and down. But the neighbor had roof access, so they let us get up there, and then we hopped over to the other roof. Did that adjuster appointment. I had a commercial a residential project lined up, a patio. I did like a small addition to a patio, and washed, sanded, sealed. So that was like $1,700, $1,800 I did. Went straight from there to that big commercial project that night. I think I put in like 8 hours straight overnight with a man lift doing this big building, their window cleaning, pavers, everything. I want to say it was like $7,800. It took us two nights. At the time I didn't have any real full-time helpers, so the residential patio, I had my buddy help me during the day. At night, I had my nephew and a buddy of mine's son, I think he was like 18 at the time, looking for work. I paid them each like $400 for the night. We knocked out, in 2 nights, we got that big commercial project done. And I literally, the second night, finished at like 3 in the morning, 4 in the morning, dropped the trailer off, showered, had my nephew run me to the airport, and I met my family for spring break, I think it was. But I got super lucky. When I got back, I had the property management company that I reached out to months prior when I was doing the Starbucks. They actually reached out to me and said, hey, I got a project for you. It's a power washing of a plaza. So I think I sold that at like $3,500 or $3,800. As soon as I got back from vacation, jumped on that overnight. While I was doing that, another contractor came up, saw me power washing, asked if I could quote a building that he was working on remodeling. It was in like Lake Forest, Illinois, I think. I went over there, quoted that, and I got that commercial project for like a couple grand. But the reason I'm bringing all that up is I was super nervous about buying the trailer, and my return on investment within a month of buying the trailer, I had made that money back on these commercial projects, and it really took the business off. It made me look super professional, and a lot of work came in because I had this really nice setup. Clean, nice diesel 2500 truck and a nice work trailer. Eventually I got some more commercial work with like a big builder in my area. I was able to double dip on that, and I was still doing the roofing sales, so I was doing projects for them with that, doing power washing with them with my trailer, and I ended up getting my first truck I had wrapped. It wasn't like a full wrap, it was like a decal, but it was sides of the truck, tailgate, things like that. That really stepped the business into the next level because then people recognized it, people saw it, and it kind of just went from there. I built it up to the point where I had like 5-6 employees. I want to say 2 or 3 trucks and a shop. And then I kind of decided that I was kind of burnt out on it. And this was back in like, I think 2023. I got pretty burnt out. And I was going to sell the business. I got rid of the shop, got rid of all the trucks, let go of all the employees for the most part, except for like one. And I was kind of keeping it going part-time as I had it listed for sale. And I went and worked for the family business that my in-laws have. And the business never sold, so then I kind of invested a little bit more into it, hired like a production manager to run it because I was doing a full-time job working for the family business. So I had somebody running my business, had a couple employees and a truck with us. I sold the trailer, and I just had a bed set up for a truck. I'll kind of make maybe a short video showing all the different setups I've had. Long story short, decided that I did want to stick with my business. I didn't like working for somebody else, and I kind of half-assed it. Went back in about 2 years ago. Still kept on the production manager, and the business just hasn't been doing as well as it needs to. So this is 2026, early March 2026. Last year for holiday lighting, I kind of jumped back in full-time, and I'm planning on jumping back in full-time for 2026 season. Should be kicking off in a couple weeks. However, today I do have a project for a commercial account that I have for a township. They got some graffiti, so I ran this morning to the store, power washing store near my house, grabbed some graffiti remover. We're gonna see if we can get that graffiti off their skate park ramps this evening. I am still doing the RV transporting, so like right now I'm going to get a trailer, I'm going to deliver it, stop on my way home, knock out the graffiti, go home. So I'll do some filming of that. Hopefully the graffiti comes off easily. Sometimes it's stubborn, sometimes it's super easy, we don't know. But I haven't even decided what I'm going to price that at yet. It's going to be dependent on how much materials I use and how long it takes me. But I need to get a couple pump sprayers, and the gallon of graffiti remover that I bought was $75, so the stuff's not cheap. But it should work. Hopefully I don't need more. We'll give it a shot. As the season kind of progresses, I usually keep some of this stuff on hand, but because it's still early season, wasn't planning on really working, I don't have any of this stuff on hand right now, so I did run today. But yeah, I've got some older videos that I'll put up in the shorts section just showing some of what we do. If you have any questions or you want to see anything, definitely throw it in the comments. It's a brand new channel, so I have 0 subscribers, 0 videos. This is going to be the first one, just a kickoff. And then, like I said, I'll throw some shorts together. And then as I start to get some projects coming in, I will show that. I'm back with the trailer setup that I bought last year. And I just hired somebody new that'll be starting in a couple weeks. And it's going to be an exciting season. A lot of work coming in already. A lot of big commercial projects. I've got like around 60,000 in quotes out there right now that should all turn into work, commercial work. So, and then the residential will start popping off probably end of March. And hopefully we'll stay busy throughout the year. I am going to keep the RV transport on. The reason that I originally wanted to get into RV transport, and I really enjoy it, and if you're interested in that, jump over to my other channel, which is RV Transport Hustle. I'll see if I can link it. But the whole point in me doing the RV transport was in Chicagoland, I don't really work January, February, March. And I wanted, years previous, I would just save up as much as I could, and then I would live off that savings while I wasn't working. But I wanted to have some income coming in so that I wasn't just draining bank account, not bringing anything in for January, February, March. So that was my original thought with RV transport. So it didn't really work out that way. I kind of stuck with it. I really enjoyed it for a couple of years now, about a year and a half. So, but it kind of, because I was doing that full time pretty much throughout last year, it kind of hindered my ability to work full time within my business. And the reality is I make more money working for myself in my business. So I'm going to decide what I'm going to do with RV transport. Maybe keep it on part-time, but I have to dedicate myself full-time to gutter cleaning, pressure washing business. So ideally, when I slow down, I'll be able to pick an RV transport back up. I've got some plans with that. I'm not going to talk about them so much right now, but I have ways of doing that that I'll exercise at that time. So like I said, if you're interested in this type of work or small business, definitely subscribe to the channel, like the video, leave me a comment, let me know what you want to see. If you are a pressure washer gutter cleaner company, say hello, drop the name of your company. I probably heard of you. I'm on all the Facebook pages. Been around for a little while now, so yeah, hopefully this channel grows and it's helpful to people that are interested in this type of work or just small business in general.